Story that is, well,
Wild.
it's wild. It's bizarre. It's honestly,
Kind of hilarious.
yeah, it's hilarious. And it all revolves around Nick Fuentes,
Of course.
the far-right political commentator.
Right.
And let's just say his reaction to a visitor
Mm.
was not exactly graceful.
Not graceful at all. And I think what's so interesting about the story is how it really shows how someone's online persona can bleed into the real world.
Right.
And then that gets filtered back through the lens of the internet, through these communities like Kiwi Farms. And so we're going to look at this story from two main angles.
Okay.
First, a firsthand account that was posted on Facebook,
Okay.
and then the absolute explosion of reactions on a Kiwi Farms forum thread.
All right. So we have a front row seat to all of this drama, thanks to a woman named Maria.
Yes.
She's 57 years old.
Okay.
And get this, she lives in the same town as Nick Fuentes.
Wow.
Small world.
Yeah.
And she posted about this whole encounter on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And things got,
Spicy.
they got spicy, they got dramatic.
Yeah, and I think that the fact that they live in the same town is really crucial here.
Yeah.
Like, it really sets the stage for this real-life clash
Right.
that was sort of fueled by online curiosity.
Yeah, and internet audacity, right?
100%.
Okay, so picture this. Maria's driving by Fuentes' house. Apparently some friends sent her the address just out of curiosity.
Mm.
And she decides to film a quick video.
Okay.
And then another woman pulls up next to her and basically dares her to ring the doorbell.
Oh, wow.
I know, right?
What?
So Maria, being Maria, she goes for it.
That's amazing. It's like a reality show.
It is. It's like completely unscripted.
Yeah, make this stuff up.
So she rings at the doorbell,
Yeah.
and the next thing you know, Fuentes, he swings open the door, and boom,
What?
pepper spray right in her face, pushes her down the steps, snatches her phone, and retreats back inside. Wild, right?
That is intense. I mean, like,
I know.
his reaction is so intense.
Yeah.
Especially considering she's a 57-year-old woman
Right.
who just rang his doorbell.
You got to admit, though, it's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
This image of Fuentes, this online provocateur,
Right.
just freaking out and pepper spraying a middle-aged woman. It's
very absurd.
absurd.
I think that's why people find it so amusing.
Yeah, it challenges this image that he tries to project online.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Like, who reacts that way to a doorbell?
I know, unless you're like hiding something really bad.
Yeah, like a whole...
Let's not go there.
Yeah, we don't have to go there.
Okay, so back to Maria.
Right.
She gave a statement to the police,
Good.
got checked out by the EMTs,
Okay.
got her phone back eventually.
Uh-huh.
But here's the thing. Even after all that,
Mm-hmm.
being pepper sprayed,
Yeah.
having her phone stolen, she has this amazing sense of humor about the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
In her Facebook post,
Uh-huh.
she calls Fuentes a frightened little man
Oh, my...
and jokes about how she, went viral
Wow.
in the most unexpected way.
It's like she's taking back control
Yeah.
of this situation that was completely out of her control.
Totally. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Turning this negative experience
Right.
into something that she can laugh about.
It just adds to how bizarre this whole thing is.
Yeah.
And it plays into this narrative that Fuentes, maybe he's not as composed as he wants people to think he is.
Oh, look.
Especially when he's confronted offline.
Right. So let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and head over to Kiwi Farms,
Ah.
the website that is known for, shall we say, intense discussions about internet personalities.
Yes.
And as you can imagine,
So, yeah.
this incident with Nick Fuentes
Mm-hmm.
sent the forum into a frenzy.
Of course it did.
Kiwi Farms is known for,
Deep diving.
deep diving into the lives of online figures.
Right.
Often with a focus on their, shall we say,
Quirks.
their quirks, their flaws, their eccentricities.
Yes.
And, Nick Fuentes,
Right.
with his controversial views and online persona,
Mm-hmm.
he's like a prime target
100%.
for their brand of humor and scrutiny.
Oh, yeah.
So this incident basically gave them a goldmine of material.
Right.
The reactions on the forum threads range from amusement to skepticism,
Uh-huh.
all seasoned with their signature dark humor and, well,
Unique analysis.
let's call it unique analysis.
Yeah. They really just take this whole situation and flip it on its head, using their own observations and this kind of dark humor to create their own version of Nick Fuentes.
Right. So what stood out to you?
Well, they really zero in on the fact that he lives with his mom.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they use that to try to undermine his whole image as this, strong, independent leader type.
Right, which he tries so hard to project online.
Exactly.
They're throwing around terms like...
basement dweller.
Yeah, basement dweller, mama's boy.
Anything to make him seem immature.
Right.
Like he's not a real adult.
Yeah, not living up to these societal expectations.
Exactly, especially if you want to be taken seriously in politics. Yeah. Like, you got to be independent.
Yeah, you can't be living with your parents.
Exactly.
And they don't stop there.
Oh, no.
They go after his looks, his height, his clothes.
Oh, gosh.
Even the way he stands in photos.
It's all part of this, like, dehumanizing strategy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they reduce him down to this caricature. So it's easier to just dismiss his ideas.
Yeah, and just make fun of him.
Exactly.
And, it works.
It does.
On that forum, at least.
Right.
The comments are full of laughing emojis. People calling him a loser, a clown.
Yeah.
It's like they're using humor to, like, dominate him.
Right. Like, establish their power.
And reinforce this shared view they have of him.
It's important to remember, though, that this is all happening on Kiwi Farms, which is a very specific community. Yeah. They really like this edgy, often cruel humor.
Right. So it's not like...
It's not necessarily how everyone sees Fuentes.
Yeah.
But it does show how his online persona can be, manipulated and twisted.
Totally. So we've got the humor. We've got the personal attacks.
Right.
But it goes beyond just making fun of him.
Yeah.
They actually do this, like, deep analysis of Maria's Facebook post.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Meticulously picking it apart, looking for inconsistencies.
Right.
They're like digital detectives.
That's amazing.
But instead of solving crimes, they're like looking for evidence.
To support their own narrative.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Fueled by skepticism. A desire to expose what they see as like hypocrisy or lies.
That's interesting.
For example, they're like, wait a minute, Maria took photos, but she said Fuentes took her phone. And where's the video she filmed while driving by?
Oh.
It's like, they're not wrong.
They're not, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone on Kiwi Farms is just a troll.
Right.
Some of them actually enjoy, digging into information and challenging the official story.
Right, but it's this hyper scrutiny that shows how these online spaces can be dangerous.
Right.
They can become echo chambers.
Yeah.
Where speculation and conjecture are more important than the truth.
Exactly, especially when it comes to someone like Fuentes, who's so controversial.
So it's like a reminder to be careful when you're online.
100%.
Especially on platforms like Kiwi Farms.
You got to be cautious.
Their motivations, while sometimes genuine, can also be driven by bias.
Totally.
Or just a desire to stir the pot.
Yeah, to create more content.
So, with all that in mind,
How do you think this whole thing impacts Nick Fuentes? Does all this attention, even if it's negative, help him or hurt him in the long run?
It's tough to say.
Yeah.
On one hand, he comes across as volatile, reactive.
Pepper spraying a 57-year-old woman.
Exactly. Not a good look.
For ringing your doorbell.
No, not really the sign of a, level-headed leader.
Right.
No matter what the context is.
And especially when you consider how Maria is handling it with humor.
It makes him look even worse.
Yeah, he looks ridiculous.
Yeah, totally.
Compared to her.
And Kiwi Farms just amplifies that with all the mockery and personal attacks.
Yeah, they turn him into a meme. This figure of ridicule.
So people don't take him seriously.
But couldn't you argue that this kind of notoriety, even if it's negative, actually helps him?
It could, because he loves controversy.
Right.
This just adds fuel to the fire.
For his followers, they probably see him as a victim of the media, of cancel culture.
So this guy who's fighting the establishment.
And Kiwi Farms, even though they're making fun of him, it's still a platform for his supporters.
To gather, to share their views.
Yeah, and maybe even attract new followers.
It's like this weird feedback loop.
Yeah.
Where negative attention can actually help him.
Right, so it's a double-edged sword.
Totally.
It could alienate some people, but also strengthen his appeal.
To his base,
To his base, and maybe even broaden his reach.
Online,
Online, so it's complicated.
It is. Online personas are always changing.
Yeah.
And public perception is influenced by so many things.
Right.
What the person does, how online communities react, and how information spreads and gets interpreted.
Yeah.
This story really shows how all of those things can come together and create these really unexpected results.
Speaking of unexpected results,
Let's go back to Kiwi Farms.
Okay.
And their investigation of Maria's story, their commitment to finding inconsistencies and building alternative narratives is
impressive.
It's impressive.
Yep.
Even if their motives are questionable, they're able to mobilize as a community, crowdsource information, analyze details.
With this level of scrutiny.
Yeah, that you don't really see anywhere else.
It's true.
But it also raises some ethical concerns.
Right.
Where's the line between online curiosity and harassment?
When does looking for information become an invasion of privacy?
Right, or even lead to harm.
It's tricky.
It is, and it's why Kiwi Farms has been so controversial.
Yeah.
You know, their relentless pursuit of information, often targeting people who are already vulnerable.
It's led to accusations of doxing, stalking, even inciting violence.
For those who don't know, doxing is basically revealing someone's private information online.
Right.
Usually with bad intentions.
Like their home address, their phone number.
Yeah, and it can have serious consequences.
Absolutely.
Online harassment, real-world threats.
And then physical harm.
It's a reminder that the internet, even with all its good points, can be a place where bad things happen.
It can be a breeding ground for toxicity.
Yeah, and it really shows the need for critical thinking.
Responsible online behavior.
Yeah, we have to think about the power dynamics, the potential for harm.
The ethical implications of what we do online.
Exactly. We can't just ignore platforms like Kiwi Farms.
No.
They have a real impact.
On people's lives.
Yeah, and they can shape public perception.
In ways that are both interesting and disturbing.
Right. Yeah, it really shows you that the internet can be a wild place.
For sure.
Especially when it comes to, accountability and ethics.
Yeah, it's like the Wild West out there.
But even with all the craziness, this story and how Kiwi Farms reacted to it, it's like a fascinating look into how online communities work.
And how they interact with stuff that happens in the real world.
It's like we're watching online culture in action.
Yeah.
Shaping how we see these public figures.
Right.
Sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's just scrutiny. And sometimes it crosses the line into harassment.
It's a tricky balance.
It really is. It's like this real-time social experiment.
Yeah.
With Nick Fuentes as the, an unsuspecting test subject.
And Kiwi Farms as the unpredictable lab.
Exactly. And it makes you think about online fame, the power of these collective narratives and, our own responsibility.
Right. Like how we act online.
So as you're processing this whole Fuentes saga and all the reactions online, we want to leave you with this.
Okay.
Be critical.
Of the information you see.
Especially in online communities.
Don't just take things at face value.
Question everything.
Look at different perspectives.
Remember that humor. While it can be a way to cope.
Right. Or to connect with people.
Can also be used to manipulate.
And even to hurt.
Yeah, and always remember, behind every screen name,
every comment,
there's a real person.
With real feelings.
The internet can be amazing.
Connecting with people.
Sharing information.
Even holding powerful people accountable.
But it's up to all of us.
Use it responsibly.
To think about the consequences.
And to make the internet a better place.
That's a great point to end on.
Thanks for joining us.
For this deep dive into internet drama.
Yeah.
And the wild story of Nick Fuentes and the pepper-sprayed doorbell ringer.
Until next time.
Stay curious, stay critical.
And stay safe online.
I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
Yeah, there's so much more to explore.
Google presents Kiwi Farms. Is a deep well of weirdness and wonder.
And we've only just dipped our toes in.
So go check them out on YouTube.
Seriously, you won't regret it.
They're the real deal.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Until next time, stay curious, stay weird, and keep exploring.
Bye, everyone.